we needed them to make mistakes, and they didn't, and we needed not to make mistakes, and we did. But that's what good football teams make you do, is make you make mistakes. And they were very aggressive on defense. On our offense, they forced our hand, forced us to execute, forced our quarterback to throw the ball down the field, got in his face. Weren't able to run that consistent, and we weren't able to take advantage first half, having a little bit of field position. But I want to thank our seniors who've won a lot of games here, and I just told them they've done a great job for Auburn. I hate from the end on a note like this. It's been a tough year. I put them in a very tough situation in what I did this year, starting out with offense. That's totally my fault. I made that mistake. It's not theirs. And, we just never recovered from it as the season went on offense. Defensively, we gave up too many big plays. We knew they were going to run the ball. They made some good third down conversions in the first half that gave them the opportunity. And then I thought the block field goal at the end of the half was pretty key. We moved the ball and moved it down the field to make some plays. But take nothing away from Alabama. They're a good team. We knew that going in. They're physical. They're big. Fifth-year senior quarterback made some amazing third down throws, second down throws. And that's what it takes to win games and win championships. But again, it was a tough night for us. We couldn't. We can say, hey, they scored that many points on your defense, but defense was out there most of the night, and it was just we just we're not able to keep up with them on offense. Questions?
Tommy, this season as a whole just.
I can't hear you. You want to speak up?
This season as a whole just really, for it to come to an end this way, and I know you said you talked to your seniors, but. You yourself, bitter pill to swallow. Can you just talk about this season?
Yeah, we've got a better football team than what we played most of the year. I don't know whether tonight would be any different if they'd played like that and not turned the ball over. But throughout the season, we were a better football team than just winning 5 games. We just found ways not to win a couple of games. We found ways not to push forward. You can look at the injuries on defense, which that was a major cause defensively, and then of course field goals. We didn't do anything with field goals in the red zone basically the last 6 or 7 games, and it showed. But the effort was there. I told the players, I take my hat off to them. You lose as many games as we lost, but you come back each week and practice hard, and you try to get better. We had good senior leadership. Not a lot of seniors on the team, but the ones that were with us, they wanted awfully bad to get to a bowl game, but we came up a little short.
Tommy, this has been a bad year, but at this point, are you hoping that you're going to be judged on your body of work instead of just 1 year?
Yeah, I'm committed to getting this thing going again. In this conference and in college football, you're going to have up and down years, but I have total confidence that I can, get this thing turned around. It was my fault that we got it this way in terms of our offense. We were just never very consistent on offense, but I'm committed to getting it done, and we'll start immediately in recruiting and working in that direction.
Tommy, what are the 3 biggest things you need to do to turn this thing around for next year?
Well, we got to get back on offense. We got to figure out where we want to be, what we want to do, who's going to do it. I've got a lot of guys in mind, a lot of interest. We've got to recruit, some guys that can make big plays. We don't have that. We've got to get a few more offensive linemen. We got to get back to being more physical. We weren't a physical football team this year. After taking us out of being physical through spring practice in the first 3 or 4 games, it's hard to recover that during the season. So, we've just got it. We've got to get a playmaker, and we thought we had one in Philip Pierre-Louis, and he is going to be a playmaker, and he tears his knee up on the opening kickoff for the first game. It was one of those type of years, but the recruiting is going good and going very well, and it's just one of those things. We just got to keep bringing guys in, but get back to what we need, what we can do. And I tried to force something on us. I tried to do it for the right reasons, but man, it put us in a tailspin, and we've never really come out of it.
Tommy, do you believe you'll be given the opportunity to turn this thing around?
Yeah, I'm committed to get it done, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. Games are challenges, recruiting is challenges, and turning around will be a challenge. It won't be near as hard as playing in the SEC, but we've got a very good base of young players, a lot of guys that will be back. Like I said, this wasn't a big senior group. We've just got to get back being consistent in what we're doing, how we're doing it. Get a face to what we are, we never could put a finger this year on what we really wanted to do and how to do it. And I want to say something about the coaches. I put them in a bind. I know everybody's pointing fingers at them, and they're not getting it done. They're not getting it done. I'm the one that put them in that situation. I'm one to put their back to the wall. And I thought the offensive staff did a heck of a job of overnight, coming up with something to even give ourselves a chance. There were several games that we had a chance to win that we didn't, and we were in most of them. I just want to say that those guys really worked hard. Did the best they could do in the circumstances. They worked long hours, and they'll take a lot of hits for all this. But the buck stops with me. I'm the one that put them in that situation.
Tommy, you said you'd evaluate your staff at the end of the year. When do you plan to do that?
Oh, well, we'll go out and recruit. Start recruiting this week. I think official visits and contacts start tomorrow, and guys can go into homes. And I'm not going to make any quick decisions. There's no reason to. We're not playing in a bowl game. I'll sit down and evaluate. I've got to go out and do recruiting, and also get on the road and start interviewing people. But like I said, all these jobs are hard in this conference, and if I didn't think I couldn't do it, I'd be the first one to tell the Auburn people. But 10 years, I'm still fairly young. It's hard to take what we went through this year, but sometimes it makes you even hungrier when you go through something like this. We might have needed a setback. We might needed to have a readjustment because we've been awful good for a long time. But it won't take that much for us to turn it around. We've just got some areas that we've got to improve, but again, we got to get back to realizing who we are and what we want to be. And when you do that, then you've got an opportunity to go forward and have a lot more consistency.
Coach, how disappointing was it for you not just to lose today, but to lose the way you did? You feel your team came out flat?
Well, we played hard the first half. We didn't take advantage. Had the ball on the 46-yard line. Didn't make a first down on the second possession. They forced our hand. Didn't do much the rest of the half. I thought our defense played well. Then we drive down before the half. We kicked the field goal, make it, but Nick did a good job of calling a timeout. And then they got a lot of push inside and got the block. And then the second half, the thing that can't happen to you on the road happened to us. And we turn around, we turn it over. Maybe the first two times we had it, or the two out of the first three, and gave them a short field. And they were able to execute. So it had nothing to do with the players. I mean, they were trying, they were working at it. We had some things that we wanted to do the second half that we held the second half. It just we never got any kind of momentum at all. We kind of just shot ourselves in the foot.
Tommy, would you like the president to come out and say definitively that you're going to be back in 2009 just for recruiting purposes and such?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he'll evaluate that.
Tommy, you talked about recruiting. Can you talk about maybe recruiting some of the guys already on this team, like Antonio Coleman, instead of going to the NFL, getting them to stick around for another season?
Yeah, we've got a couple of guys that will have a chance to look at it. I've talked to both of them. We'll continue to talk to them. They don't have to make any drastic decisions. The thing that they want to do is make the best decision for them. That we'll have them evaluated. I'm one of the ones, and I'll tell them if I think that what they need to do. I'm always honest with them. We've had some go, we've had some stay, and we've got a couple of guys that will probably look at it as every team does every year. It won't be the end of the world, but what we'll do is we'll sit down and give them the best advice we possibly can to help their future, because it is their future.
How does this Alabama defense stack up against some of the others you've played this season?
Pardon me?
How does this Bama defense stack up against some of the others in the SEC?
Yeah, this is the best team we played. They've got a lot of speed. They run to the ball well. They're well coached. They're disciplined. I don't know if they made a mistake out there in terms of penalties. It's kind of like a blur. I know they didn't. The turnovers weren't there. Their kicking game's solid. We weren't going to kick the ball to their returner. I think it'll be a great game next week. I think that it'll be a challenge because they're facing a team that's a big play team that's got a lot of speed, and we've played Florida a lot the last few years, and I think it'll be a great challenge for both teams.
Were you surprised they were throwing the ball in the end zone there with 2.5 minutes left?
No. I mean, they had their young guys in there. I mean, that's football. It had nothing to do with anything other than giving those guys a chance to play.
All right, thank you, Coach.